Okay, guys, welcome to this week's Fife Property Market Update. This is a look at the whole of the market in terms of the number of estate agents in the whole of Fife, what they've listed last week in Fife, and also what they've actually sold. This gives us a real good indication. Fife tends to be a microcosm of what happens throughout the UK, so this will give us a good indication in terms of the amount of demand and supply. It will give us an idea of where we should be offering over. And potentially, if it is still offers over, or could it be home report value, or could it be to get away in some areas with offering under the market value? And so let's kick off. Let's talk about that straight away. I'll quickly share my screen. One of the things I want to talk about tomorrow night, this will blow your mind. I've been working on, so the Wealth Creation Show is tomorrow night at 6:30. It is live. The two posts, the two pages are on here. If you want to look at it on our YouTube channel, you can watch it on our YouTube channel live at 6:30 tomorrow night. If you want to watch it on our Facebook channel, the Facebook channel link's in there tomorrow night at 6:30 as well on my public profile. I'm going to be talking about pensions versus property. Literally, I've got my hands on my head, and literally it blew my mind when I looked at these numbers. It is astronomically like night and day. I could not believe it. But which is which? Should you be investing in a pension? Should you be investing in a property? Should you be investing in both? So we'll talk about it live tomorrow night at 6:30. Quickly, we'll jump onto the numbers now. So this is in the Cooper area in terms of the week beginning the 27th of February to the 5th of March itself. So in Cooper area, 10 properties came onto the market with all the estate agents. 10 properties went under offer and sold. East Neuk, 1 went on the market, just 1, and 3 actually sold. East Neuk is drastically run out of property. If you've got property that you're considering selling in East Neuk, you probably want to do it now, because this is where you're going to get the best price, because there is so little properties on the market itself. St Andrews area, 5 came onto the market, 4 actually went under offer and sold. It's quite surprising. St Andrews is usually a lot more than that. Good evening, Perry. Leavenmouth, listen, guys, if you want to ask any questions, please feel free to that. I might wrap it up in the end of the broadcast as well. So I'm more than happy to take questions throughout the process. Leavenmouth, 11 properties came onto the market through all the estate agents. 13 went under offer and sold. Again, demand's outstripping supply. We're also going to look at the month of February after this. This will, again, will give us a bigger picture. Dunfermline 35 versus 33. Glenrothes 14 versus 8. Quite surprising for Glenrothes. You know, more properties coming on than actually sold, because Glenrothes is usually the other way around. But it is no surprise considering there is hardly anything to buy in Glenrothes as well. Great price point in Glenrothes. You know, I can't stress that enough. It's a great market. It's a great price point, and it is high demand for rental properties as well. Kirkcaldy 44 versus 38. So overall in the week, 119 properties came onto market throughout the whole of Fife with all the estate agents. 110 went under offer and sold. So slightly less sold than actually came on, but we've still got around about 439 properties sitting right available for sale right now across the whole of Fife itself. 12 months ago, it was sitting at around about 730. Pre-pandemic, it was sitting at about over 1,000 to 1,200. So it shows you with the amount of supply we've got on. I mean, the people haven't disappeared. They're all still looking for property. So what we're seeing now is we're tending to see actual apartments and flats becoming more popular because they're more affordable in a first-time buyer category for the first-time buyers as well. Thank you, Brian, for that. Let's look at February then. So overall February, in the Cooper area, 39 properties were instructed, 38 were actually sold, 97% supply demand. East Neuk 16 versus 21, 131% demand. St Andrews 20 versus 24. St Andrews is turning a wee corner. It's usually sitting about 90. It's now 120%. So St Andrews is still very popular, even though it's the highest price point in Fife almost. East Neuk's catching up quickly. Leavenmouth 36 came onto the market, and actually 37 sold in February. So again, like for like, Dunfermline 143 versus 152, 106% demand. Glenrothes 41 versus 39, so there's a 95% demand. So Glenrothes, you might actually get Glenrothes prices round about the home report value, if not less, potentially. Although, again, I come back to saying there's very little in the market anyway. So it is, whatever comes on or whatever's left, people are tend to hoover up, if that makes sense. They're actually going for the low-hanging fruit now. And then they're just bidding on things that are normally you wouldn't bid on because they need somewhere to stay. People move because of their circumstances. So that's the reality. People move because of their circumstances, and that's the reason why they'll move as a result. So that's probably the most important thing. Let me see that graph. I didn't think you saw that all the way through because I had my whole picture on there. So you can see that there. I've gone through the numbers itself. I'll let you have a look at them yourself as well. Total overall, 451 came on to the market in Fife in February. 454 actually sold. So again, it's quite even Stevens. So 101% demand. Okay, so where are we with this? I've got a couple of questions coming through. I'll cover them at the end, guys. So let's jump on further forward. Let's talk about the couple of articles that we've got through. I'm going to also talk about what's coming onto the market. So this is probably important for a lot of people actually looking out for these properties. We're going to talk about what's coming onto the market soon. Let's just cover that right now, actually. So this is what's sold so far this week. And the week just passed for us, this is what's sold. Now, the reason I talk about this is what's sold is because it gives you an idea of what type of properties are selling. So if you've got a similar property to this, it then gives you an idea it'll actually be quite popular. Most important point is we got prices which was really good offers that sellers couldn't refuse. We got them in a really good amount of days. However, we did actually get entry dates to suit their purpose. So they're not in an uncomfortable position. They've just accepted an offer for the sake of accepting an offer. And then they're now thinking, where do I go next? These are all lined up to go somewhere else, or they have other thoughts about what they want to do or how they want to do it. Okay, so Orchard House, you can see it there yourself. I mean, Orchard House, this is the Linwood Gardens, or Linwood Hall, the old Linwood Hall. Orchard House development built originally around about probably 150 to 200 years ago. Beautiful building. It was subdivided by Persimmon Homes into apartments, big apartments inside. So this one actually sold from social media before it actually got to a website. So they're very, very popular for that reason. Glenrothes. Okay, Kinloch Drive. A lot of people were interested in Kinloch Drive. A load of people. This was a 3-bedroom detached bungalow, and it sold within 1 week of the entry date. And it also the entry date suited the seller for this one. This is what we talk about entry dates suiting people. That's the most important thing. Warwick Close in Lookers, just outside St Andrews, that sold in 3 weeks. 2 other people missed out on this type of property. This was a 2-bedroom end terraced with a box room. So the box room sitting up there above the door. To be honest, that box room, you could probably take a bit off the double bedroom, which is over here above the living room at the front down the bottom. You could probably take a bit off of there and actually make the box room into a good size, a decent size single bedroom. So you could actually create a 3-bedroom out of that. I would say, because it's got a full-size window in there as well, so it probably will be compliant as a result. So, and a lot of people have actually done that in that case. I think there's also an opportunity to put a WC under the stairs, because I know other people have done that in their properties as well. So this had great potential. So if you've got a property like this in Warwick Close and Lookers, then we'd be delighted to hear from you, because other people missed out on these as a result. But the owner was delighted with the result that they got. Garley Bank in Cooper, sold in 1 week, 4-bedroom semi-detached bungalow. Stunning views. You can see that out to the rear over the countryside at the rear garden, and it sits in the sun most of the day as well. So stunning views to the rear. Again, that was very, very popular. It sold within a week for a good price. Emsdorf, 1-bedrooms in London Links area, ground floor apartment. Buyers thrilled with their new home. They're very, very popular at the moment because they're at an affordable price. They tick all the right boxes, possibly for first-time buyers, for investors, and dare I say for holiday homeowners as well. And it's, so they tick all the right boxes. So if you've got these types of properties, now this was on, it offers over 110,000, so it went beyond that. And the final one for us is Balgarvey Crescent in Cooper. That sold within 2 weeks. This was a 1-bedroom first floor apartment, and it sold for a record price for a 1-bedroom in that area. A record price in that area for a 1-bedroom. It was mint condition, but I tell you what, they're extremely popular. Owner is delighted with their new home, and they'll be moving in soon. So we're going to talk about what's coming soon. Let me talk about what's coming soon this week. So watch out for these ones for pre-portal launches. For anybody out there that doesn't know what a pre-portal launch is, it is your golden opportunity on social media, if you follow our pages, to jump in before it goes to Prime Location, Zoopla, S1 Homes, or any website, 4 to 5 days, 4 to 5 working days before it goes to any website. It is shown first on social media on our channels. If you follow our pages, as soon as we go live or post something on, you will see it straight away. And if you're in a position to proceed and you could make an offer the seller can't refuse, it could be yours before it even gets to the website, before even anybody else gets to see it as a result of that. And that's what we talk about, that previous one I had said. It was sold on social media before it even got to any websites. A lot of people are jumping in at that level. The other one I'm going to talk about just now, actually, George Terrace and St Mons in a minute. I'll talk about that one. That one was actually sold from social media, and the person never walked in the door until the day they got the keys. So they paid, and I'll tell you that, they paid £80,000 more for the property. It was 28% more for George Terrace and St Mons, 28% more, and they bought the property on the basis that would get the keys, and that's when they would see it for the first time. Never walked in the door. Saw our video, saw our drone footage, and paid £80,000 more. Not all estate agents are the same. I can guarantee you that. Anyway, let's get back to the coming soons. Kinnock Court and Garbridge, that's a 3-bedroom semi-detached house. That's coming soon as well. That'll be this week. Spruce Grove in Leven, a 3-bedroom semi-detached bungalow is coming onto the market. A lot of semi-detached this week. Elizabeth Crescent and Newport-on-Tay. That'll be hitting the websites this week. 2-bedroom semi-detached house. It does have potential to off-street parking at the rear. Also off-street parking developed at the front and to extend as well, because the next door neighbours have actually put an extension in the back of theirs. So that's in Newport-on-Tay. So if you live in the Dundee area, it might be a great proposition, because that is a good price point for that type of property. Offers over 130,000. Crescent Road in London Links, that'll be a 3-bedroom semi-detached house. That'll be coming on soon. Den Walk in Methil, 2-bedroom ground floor apartment, extremely popular just now. 2-bedroom ground floor apartments in Methil have now gone for around about the 70 to 80,000 pounds. Yeah, you heard me right. 2 years ago they were sitting at 55. Now they're at 70 to 80,000 pounds for these types of properties. They are extremely popular. As I said, it is the ones that everybody wants to see, and everybody wants to move in. Okay, let me talk about completed. Completed. This is where you get to know what prices are achieved for certain types of properties. Roland Street in St Mons was a 2-bedroom end terraced house, and that sold within 3 weeks. And it actually got over the line, and it actually got 170,000 for a 2-bedroom end terraced house in St Mons. Okay, so that actually went for a really good price. Now I know for a fact that the one over the road, it sold with another agent, actually got 30,000 less. You heard it. Yep, we got 170. And the one across the road that was sold with another agent got 30,000 less. Similar house as well. Okay, Rose Street in Methil, that was a 2-bedroom semi-detached bungalow. That sold in 4 weeks over the home report value as well. 2 other people missed out on that. So if you've got a 2-bedroom semi-detached bungalow in Methil, very, very popular at the moment. Again, bungalows are like hen's teeth. You know, it's like they're very, very rare, because a lot of builders do not want to build any new build bungalows anymore because they don't maximise the profit. George Terrace, as I said, in St Mons, that was a 4-bedroom townhouse, and that sold within a week, actually, on the social media channels, and it sold for 28% over the home report value, and that represented £80,000, and the person never walked in the door. So the drone footage and that. A couple of articles on here as well. Actually quite important if you're thinking about selling, or you're thinking about renting, or actually you want to increase your rents because you're an investor, or you want to maximize your returns if you're an investor. One of the shows that Richard and I did yesterday was Rentability Review. Now, the links on here in this post, either up or down or side, depending on if you're looking at on your phone or on your PC or you know what format on your tablet, it'll be round about there somewhere. If you click on that link, you get access to see the show, which is an hour long, which is a live show between Richard and I, and we discuss and we give away a lot of secrets. Now, I've been in this for 30 years, retired 17 years ago, financially free because of the property market. So I discuss and give away all my secrets on these shows for free. You don't need to pay a penny to get access to that information. And you could ask me anything you want, even after the event. More than happy to discuss it with you and tell you. So that's on there, as well as the podcasts on there, so you can listen to your own leisure. Some people go out for a walk and listen to the podcast. Why they'd want to hear my voice droning, I do not know. But they enjoy it anyway. It's probably the information that they get. And also the article itself takes about 4 minutes to read. But I'll be honest, if you're really serious about investment and property investment, you should be listening to the podcast or watching the show itself, taking notes as you go. I always take notes every time. Even the wealth creation show tomorrow night, we're talking about property and pension. You never know what's going to come up. So I always keep an A4 handy and my notepad and everything like that. And I take loads and loads of notes, because one wee thing might make a fundamental difference. It'll compound over the years and will accelerate my wealth as a result of that. The other article on here is, why are so many Fife homes in any place, to be honest, right across the UK? Why are there so few homes for sale right across the UK itself? But we talk particularly about Fife because it's Fife Properties, but it's the same everywhere else. So we talk about that and the drop in the number of properties and why that's happened, and also the right price points of where to go. We also talk about all the advice and information that you should be getting. And I have actually shared secrets as well in order to how to get the best prices as a buyer, and also how to get the best prices as a seller in that show. So I would recommend watch the show, listen to the podcast. The article is just going to be there for if you want to digest some of the information, the statistics we discussed. But really, the meat of the whole thing is actually in the show and in the podcast where we discuss that. So that was Perry and myself that actually did that last week. So go over that; you'll see that as well. Wealth creation show, as I said, tomorrow night, 6:30. I'll see most of you there, hopefully. If you want to increase your wealth this year, you're going to have to watch this show. It is a masterclass, ultimately, in creating wealth. We're going to talk about, as I said, about property versus pensions. And the reason I'm going to talk about this is because I put here it is here. So I put a post on TikTok. Yes, we are on TikTok, and we're going on that. And I talked about child pensions. In other words, children's pensions, pensions for children. Yes, you can get pensions for children. You can take them out at birth. You can put money away, and the government tops it up for the basic rate tax. They top it up for the child for the contributions that you make towards their pension. And the compounding effect that has over the next 50 to 57 years is astronomical in terms of the returns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that right down back to today's money and what that is in today's money, because everybody started jumping on this show or the post, and they actually started saying, but you're not taking into account inflation. You're not taking into account the real cost of living. You're not extrapolating at the right level. You're not doing this and you're not doing that. And it's everybody's a critic until they know how to do it. But that's the reality, and that's how it is. So I'm going to go in depth, and I'm going to bring all these numbers that we're extrapolating and bring it right back around to base. And I'm also going to talk about property as well. I'm going to bring that right down to base level as well. And I'm going to compare the two sets of figures, the compounded amount that technically you put through a pension versus the property amount and the same value and return as it would do there. And that's going to be on our wealth creation show at 6:30 tomorrow night. So tune into that. The two links are in for YouTube. If you want to watch our YouTube channel, the links is on in this post on here. If you want to watch on our Facebook channel, my public profile link is in there as well to watch that live on our Facebook channel. You could ask questions as well at the same time and get all the answers to the things that you want to know about wealth creation. Done it for 30 years. think I might know a thing or two. And so we'll talk about that tomorrow night. Okay. And until next time, guys, let's see if we've got any questions. Perry. Okay, this is a good one, Perry. Perry asks, actually, if people are concerned, what can they do to take that leap of faith? This is obviously about selling, Perry. So selling, it's an urban myth. See that, right? Now, the urban myth about selling and having nowhere else to go is created because there's other estate agents out there that are pretty poor at what they're doing, and all they're really doing is they're selling a house and they're not bothered about the next step for the seller itself. So what we're doing is we're making sure that the seller will have either a longer entry date to allow them to find somewhere else to go, or they definitely have somewhere else to go before that. So you could put your house on the market tomorrow, basically, and we could actually get you everything you've ever wanted to and all the things that you need in order to get your next property. What I mean by that, typical example is one was sold maybe about actually in August last year, and we had an entry date agreed of 12 months. 12 months, yeah, absolutely. You heard it right. Entry date of 12 months. We waited for the right person to come along. The seller was, should we put it on now? Because it's this August coming, we should move. And I'm like, yes, absolutely. Because we'll find you a buyer which will agree to the 12-month entry date. And that buyer has come along, agreed to the 12-month entry date. They've paid a non-refundable deposit of £10,000, and they've also concluded missives, so they can't back out at the 11th month. So everything's perfect and online. That can happen, but you'll never find out if that can happen if you don't put your house in the market and you don't actually tell people potentially it's up for sale. What's the worst that could happen? You don't agree to any sale and you are where they are exactly right now. That's the worst that could happen. So you're exactly where you are right now as a result. And you've still got your house advertised. And you get the right person to come along. And you get the right person to agree to the entry date. But what we're doing as well is you can do chain building, which is off market. Now, chain building is what we discussed in our show during the week, which was about the lack of homes on the market. So we talked about chain building and how that works. So if you want to know how that works and you want to get your ideal dream home before anyone else and before it comes to market, no one else will see it, basically. That is the show to watch on this link in this post. So I'd recommend you plug into that and see if you can get the right information out of that. And again, if you've got any questions out of that, then please feel free to say that. Okay. Jimmy said, yeah, 2 more and leaving will soon be sold. Yeah, awaiting written offers. So there's another couple in the pipeline to be sold again, and we'll talk about them next week as well. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching the Fife Property Show tonight and the weekly update. And we'll see you all tomorrow night at 6:30 for the Wealth Creation Show. Bye-bye for now.